All right, so next thing that happens today is
Tomorrow,
w, what happens tomorrow?
WNBA playoffs start. They start on the
WNBA
third.
playoffs start, but there's a final game today, as far as I know. It's
Oh,
a
it
tip,
might
right?
be. It might be, but yeah. Um,
Now you got me wanting to go look it up. Schedule. Okay, full schedule. Yeah,
Hell, it don't
September
matter.
10th.
I think all the teams that can make the playoffs done clinched already.
But the thing is, today at noon, Pacific time, which is 3 o'clock Eastern time, Las Vegas Aces plays Mercury. For the most part, this is not a big deal if you're just a casual watcher of the WNBA. But there's a chance for history to be made today. So the Las Vegas Aces are now the most winningest team in the history of the WNBA as far as record goes. They are 36-6, I think, or 35-6. Let me see. I forgot their record.
33-6.
33-6, 33 plus 6. Yeah, that makes 9. So they are 33-6 right now. So they have won more games than any team ever in the history of WNBA by the number. By percentage, if they win today, they will have the most win percentage of any team ever, which is basically they will eclipse the Houston Comets that we used to be in love with back in the day. So if they win today, they will be the winningest team by percentage in the WNBA in all of history, and that'll bump our Houston Comets team that we used to watch in like '98 down to number 2. How does that make you feel as a WNBA watcher? As much as we used to watch it back then.
Records are meant to be broken.
Did Mama used to watch games with us back then? Or is that something that we just picked up?
I want to say she did, but I'm not for sure. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not for sure. But I don't know if she introduced us to it or she used to like. Because I feel like we've been watching games sometimes and she'll be like, man, I could do that. Or, man, I used to do that. Or something. I don't. I really can't recall if she watched WNBA or not. I should ask her. I ask her at some
Yeah.
point.
I really, really. Oh, Brittany Griner on today. So I'm hoping
Yeah,
that.
they had a terrible season.
Oh yeah, man. Phoenix gonna have a terrible season until they get right when it comes down to the office. Like I don't want to talk nasty about Diana Taurasi because she's a beast. She's in the game or whatever like that. But they have so they have really strong personalities and attitudes on that team. Like the most humble person on that team is the one that did like 9 months in Russia in a Russian prison. Like, like that's the most humble person on the team. Um, but and before that, she was not the most humble person on the team. She used to fight. Like, if you ever go
She
look at WNBA fights and shit like that, it's very very heavily littered with Phoenix Mercury clips. And Diana Taurasi.
she
Like,
used to she used to fight, but she's a laid back person though.
she
Like it
is
takes a
until she
lot to
punches
get
you in
her
the
to
face.
that level.
Yeah, she is until she punches you in the face. But until they actually learn, they need coaching. Like, and I ain't talking about coaching like head coach. It's all them other coaches are important too. The front office, all the full front office is important. And if they have Skylar Diggins issues, they have Donna Taurasi issues, Brittany Griner issues. Like they have all these issues on this one team, and until they are strong enough leaders to keep all that shit in check, they're gonna continue to have problems. there's no way on paper that you have this team and that you're not winning. They're 9-30 right now. Are they 9-30?
I think they like.
I think they're like 9-30 right now. Yeah. I'm looking at because they have their record of every time they played the Aces, and that's why it was confusing. But they're 9-30 right now, and that team should at least have 20 wins on paper. Like, and that's it's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah. I like the Mercury. Mercury was like, I was a big Grinder fan. I forgot they got that. I think her name Henderson or something. Like they got that white girl that nobody likes because they say she played dirty. Let me find her name. Oh, Sophie Cunningham. Yeah, they say she played dirty, but nobody really likes her ass. But she be balling. But they just have like Sophie Cunningham, Skylar Diggins. Not so much Brittany Griner this year. Diana Taurasi, like, they would beat bop your ass, like, quick. And you know the funny thing is, I saw, what's that girl name? I saw Aja Wilson, when they was playing, I think it was the Liberty. I can't remember. Might be the Storm. But someone made a mistake and they just nudged her. And when they nudged her, she lost her shoe and got up ready to fight. Like, I was like, oh, she like high strong. Like, I always see her. I saw her mostly last year during the playoffs when she was it was just fun. It was fun, and she feisty and shit like that. But I ain't never see her even all through this year. I ain't never see her ready to fight like that. Like she went from I'm playing to basically getting nudged down on the ground, and she snapped. And everybody had to run up to her because I was like, okay, so the whole team knows she's capable of doing some crazy ass shit. So because the whole team just ran up to her, it's like, calm down. Let's go. But yeah,
Steady man, on the left. Hey yo, calm down.
But yeah,
Steady
so
on the right.
History might be made today, and if not, I don't know. Now when we go through the playoffs and shit like this, according to the playoff roster, well, according to this whole thing, like, the Aces is probably the best team in the league, but the Aces don't have a bench. And the people that are exploiting that the most is the New York Liberty. New York Liberty is just stacked. New York Liberty is weak against everybody, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's like a game of matchups. And it seems like if the Aces play the Liberty in the playoffs at any point, it's over. Because Candace Parker is out, and I think her name is Rodney Williams. Rodney Williams beat up her girlfriend again, and when it comes to Requana Williams. Reekna Williams? Anyway, that woman. She beat up her girlfriend again. Well, it's her wife. She beat up her wife. And it's like her second time getting domestic violence charge. And when it comes down to it, like, the leadership, the ownership of the Aces don't fuck with that shit. Like, they was like, domestic violence is something they don't fuck with at all. So she will not be back on the team even though the charges was dropped. So they're missing her. She was a real strong player. They're missing Candace Parker, who is basically the legend. And when she was out there, it was crazy. Because nobody could keep up with them because they had Aja and Candace Parker on the front line. And then when Candace Parker went inside out, they had Kia Stokes coming in. But she's like Dennis Rodman. Like, she's really a Dennis Rodman out there. I mean, her hair ain't like 17 different colors and shit, but she's Dennis Rodman out on the court. She does all the little things. And because they had her on the bench, because they had Alicia Clark on the bench, because they had Williams on the bench, they was basically unstoppable. Because they bench was just as strong as their front court. I mean, their starters. almost stronger than starters, and nobody can really stop them. But they are missing two of those people now, and they could run through every team in the league still, except for the Liberty. And I want them to win back-to-backs, and I think if they win back-to-back and everybody come back healthy and could be healthy all through next season, they could be the first team to do a three-peat. But
after the Comets, because you know the Comets four-peated.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So the first team in a very long time to three-peat. So
the only team I think came close was the Minnesota Lynx, because I think they had a period where they won 3 out of 4 championships.
I think that's
or something like that.
More.
Yeah. 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say this just because it starts, but playoffs. You kidding me? Okay, I had to get that out the way. Number 2, shout out to Asia Wilson for tying a league record of scoring 53 points in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, now with that being said, ooh yeah, Alicia Clark. Oh, never mind. With that being said, you got any predictions on how it's gonna go? Since all the 8 teams are in, I think for the first round they do like a 1-game elimination, and then for the next 2 rounds they do a best of 5 series, 2-2-1 format, where the home team or the higher seed plays the first 2 games at home, the lower seed plays second 2 games at home, and then if it goes to a game 5, the deciding game is played at the higher seed's home court. With me, it's kind of like you said, you know, the Aces have been dominating all season, and it looked like they could blow anybody out the gym except for the Liberty. So with me, my prediction is, I think, only because going into the playoffs, they've been the hotter team. And I'm a high risk, high reward type person. I think the Liberty might take it this year.
Yeah, I'm like that too. Matter of fact, if Vegas loses today, they'll be 33-7. I think Liberty plays today. If the playoffs start tomorrow. You sure the playoffs start tomorrow?
Yeah. From what I was reading,
all 12 teams will be in action, though there won't be any players left seeding, blah blah blah. So everybody plays today. That's in the playoffs. Let's see what day does it start? Just one. So WNBA playoffs start September the 13th. The day 2 part died.
What's today?
Today is the 10th.
What day did I say it start?
The 11th. 9/11.
I didn't say the 13th.
I thought you said tomorrow.
I might have said tomorrow, but I meant the 13th.
Okay.
I'm only because I'm in the mind frame that your birthday is today because you had dealer's choice. So that's why I probably, but I think I said the 13th, even though I probably did say tomorrow.
But yeah, man, we oh man, I just got to see the way it works, man. But I really, I think it's gonna go to the Liberty. I really want the Aces to win this one, but I think it's gonna go to the Liberty. Jaquez, is her name Jaquez Jones? The center for the Liberty now. She was with Connecticut last year, and they ain't make it. Speaking of Liberty, speaking of Jaquez Jones and being with Connecticut last year, I always mess her up. One of my favorite players in the league is Alyssa Thomas. Alyssa Thomas is basically the Russell Westbrook of the WNBA. Like triple double king, triple double queen. You have the triple double queen. You have Breanna Stewart, and then you have Aja Wilson. We all know what Aja does. Breanna Stewart is basically a white version of Aja that shoots more. Like Aja plays inside the paint. Breanna shoots outside of the paint. But she basically the offense runs through her. Alyssa Thomas, everything runs through her. She's triple double queen. So what I was gonna ask you is like, and for everybody else that doesn't really watch the WNBA, we're looking at Alyssa Thomas, which is basically a prime Russell Westbrook, triple doubles every night. You're looking at a Breanna Stewart, which is like a, what would you compare her to?
Like NBA wise?
Mm-hmm. Cause she's a shooter. She can shoot from anywhere on the floor. She is, but like the whole offense runs through her. I would say she's like a, I don't want to say Jimmy Butler, like a playoff Jimmy though. Like playoff Jimmy through the whole year.
Maybe like a
prime. What's that Thompson dude name?
Oh,
Splash
Clay.
Brothers? Clay Thompson.
Something like that. Yeah, I'd say Clay.
Yeah, and then
I
is a more inside out person, and I don't want to say LeBron because, but she started her game in, and her game is mostly in the paint though.
I was with Breanna. I was gonna say Luka Doncic, but nah, I think Clay is more of a representation of her. When it comes to Aja Wilson,
Jokic.
well, not.
She's the best defensive player and the best offensive player on the team.
I was gonna say maybe like Anthony Davis.
I would say that because on a good Anthony Davis night, he's the best defensive and offensive player on the team.
Yeah.
So you're looking at an Anthony Davis versus a Klay Thompson versus a prime Russell Westbrook for WNBA MVP. Now I don't know if you felt like you watched enough to answer this. If you want to answer it, but who would you give the MVP to? I go first because I feel like the Connecticut's record is more dependent on Alyssa Thomas than anybody else in there, and the Connecticut made it to the playoffs. It's like a third or fourth seed. I ain't looking at it now to see the seed, but I would pick them. I think Connecticut is. I think if Alyssa Thomas was not on that team, Connecticut would not make the playoffs. I think with Aja Wilson or Breanna Stewart not on their teams wouldn't be as good as they are, but they would at least make the playoffs because they have a supporting cast. I don't think Connecticut has that cast around them. I think we're looking at someone that makes all her teammates better because she's on the floor.
I hear you, but it's Aja Wilson's to lose. That's how I feel.
No, you know what? I would not get mad if she gets it though. Like Connecticut's number 3. They're 27-12 right now. And I don't. The 27-12. I think they'll be more like 9-30 right now if it wasn't for Alyssa on that team. Because she basically runs that team. I think Vegas been 33-6 without Aja. They'll be more like a 20-win team. I think the Liberty 32-7 without Breanna Stewart would be more like a 25-win team. I actually think the Liberty would be better than the Aces would be without their star players. But yeah, I think Connecticut's record is basically 100% on Alyssa Thomas. So that's why I would give her MVP. But I'm hoping AJ gets it again. Bring one home for Carolina.
Speaking of which, do you think Leah Boston wrapped up Rookie of the Year?
Yes. Yes. And I've only seen Leah Boston play probably like 5 games this season. And that includes the All-Star game. And when I say she gonna be something, she gonna be a problem, and boy, she gonna be a problem. She's already a problem, but she about to be a problem. And I didn't even know that she was getting trained by Tim Duncan.
It's crazy that they all played on the same. Well, they both played on the same college team.
Yeah, I didn't even know she was from the islands. I ain't know none of that stuff. I think she's from Trinidad. I don't want to say that wrong thing and get shot, but stabbed. But yeah, man, she getting trained by Tim Duncan. Her footwork getting on it, and yeah, she gonna be a problem. She gonna be a real big problem in the future. But as the philosopher Forrest Gump once said, that's all I got to say about that.
Nice little WNBA chat. We'll see how it goes, and I don't know. We might revisit this next week, and once the playoffs done started, let's see how it goes.
You said playoff format is. I think they changed the playoff format.
I think it's a single elimination game in the first round, and then the next 2 rounds is best of 5.
Oh shit! First and second rounds is a single game.
Okay.
I could have sworn they changed that.
So first and second, then they got semifinals, then finals. Okay.
First round of the playoffs by the best. Okay, so they did change it. First round of the playoffs is best of 3. Semifinals and finals is best of 5.
So they did change it. Oh.
Yes. I was wondering because I was like, man, I think they were talking about the change and shit last year. Yeah, but they need that because in the early NBA, like, if you could go, your best player get diarrhea or some shit. They just out for 1 game, and you might get fucked for that 1 game.
I mean, yeah, it's like, look at the NBA. Like, think about a team can get on a streak like Miami did and just be winning with single elimination games. But like when you get them in so it's best like to get them in a series so you can really duke it out and see who's gonna be top dog in that round. Because what if you got like I think the lowest seeded team is who? Is it Chicago? It might be Chicago. Yeah. I ain't for sure. But you get them in single elimination and shit. What if just that day they just getting buckets and knock out one of your top dogs? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm glad they changed that there.
They end up doing that shit 2 games in a row, end up winning, then I understand. Like, shit, they caught that streak, and they deserved it.
Yeah, that's like when the Knicks was the eighth seed that made it to the finals to play the Spurs during that lockout year. They just hit the right shots at the right time, and they carried that momentum to the finals.
John Starks MVP, baby.
Was he even on the team at that time? Because that was the
1 seed. Oh, you
that was
the Allen Houston days?
Yeah, that was the Larry Johnson, Allen Houston, Marcus Camby, Latrell Sprewell, Charlie Ward, Chris Childs.
Especially when Chris Childs hit Kobe with that 2-piece.
We just celebrated Kobe Bryant Day, and you gotta.
You gotta remember that stuff though, man. That's something. Pat, pat. How did you feel when he hit Kobe with that 2-piece?
We're not about to discuss this.
You gonna get up and walk out like I do when y'all talk about rapping?
Yeah. We're not about to discuss this.